Good morning, everyone. I'm Jordan Wiener.
And I'm Spencer Buckler, and welcome to the first ever edition of Midday Mashup. Up later, you don't want to miss an exclusive interview with student government presidential candidate Taylor Wright and his vice presidential candidate running mate, Mills Hayes.
Our lead story today, a proposal is currently making its way through the State House that would allow educators to carry firearms to protect students from active shooters. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster said he would sign a version of the bill as long as it's finely tuned. If the bill goes into place, teachers trained by the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division could carry concealed weapons on school grounds to respond to active shooters in the absence of law enforcement. McMaster said, "Whatever I can do to make it safer in the schools for the children, I would do." The bill will go up for discussion in the next 2 weeks.
In other South Carolina news, Dawn Staley, head of women's basketball at USC, has filed a lawsuit against Missouri Athletic Director Jim Sterk after he alleged that Staley created an atmosphere that encouraged South Carolina fans to spit on the Missouri players and use racial slurs. Staley is suing Sterk for slander and asks for no more than $75,000 in damages for disparaging her reputation. Sterk broke a conference rule banning public criticism of other member institutions, their staff, or players. He was issued a fine of $25,000 by SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey.
A new tax reform plan that would increase cost of groceries but cut the sales tax in the state was proposed Thursday in an SC House panel meeting. An SC House Policy Review Committee proposed to eliminate the exemptions placed on groceries and utilities, but plans to cut the sales tax from 6% to 3% to help offset that cost. The panel proposes phasing out the state's current existing sales tax exemptions over 5 years starting in 2023.
President Trump is sparking controversy after making statements defending the NRA as, quote, a group of patriots who want to do the right thing. Although Trump has suggested raising the minimum age for purchasing a firearm, an idea that has been repeatedly rejected by the NRA, he says he doesn't expect to clash with the gun rights group.
And later, you don't want to miss an exclusive interview with 2 of the student government candidates for the upcoming election.
Happy Friday, Gamecocks! Our lead story in sports this morning is the upset against the LSU Tigers. Our women's basketball team pulled off Thursday night at Colonial Life Arena, winning 57-48. This marked the last home game of the regular season for the women's team. Asia Wilson led the game, scoring 27 points and setting a new career high of 24 rebounds. During the pregame, Columbia Mayor Steve Benjamin gave Wilson the key to the city and declared February 22nd Asia Wilson Day. After receiving this title, Wilson said that she didn't think she was worthy of the number 23, and she decided to go with number 22 and has been treating her well for a long time and hopes to continue wearing number 22. The men's team also had a good streak this week. The men's team took on Georgia Bulldogs Wednesday night at Colonial Life Arena, winning 66-57. Wesley Myers led the team, scoring 15 points, with Frank Booker right behind him, scoring 14 points. The men's team will play at Mississippi State on Saturday as they enter the last stretch of the regular season. Moving over to Gamecock baseball. The team won its 4th straight win this season over Winthrop, defeating them 15-2. Hunter Taylor hit his first career grand slam. The team will host Charleston Southern starting today for a 3-game series. Well, that's all I have for you on Gamecock Sports. For Midday Mashup, I'm Elise Pellegrino.
Welcome back to Midday Mashup. We're here with student body presidential candidate Taylor Wright and his running mate Mills Hayes. So guys, can you just start off by telling us a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah, do you want to start, Mills?
Yeah, okay, so again, my name is Mills Hayes. This is actually kind of cool for me right now because I feel like I'm coming home. I was a station manager of SGTV this past year, where I managed a 19-person executive staff, a general staff of over 100. You know, really, that SGTV was my baby. I love it. I was a member since freshman year. Really love news, and you know, that's my major, broadcast journalism, and I have a minor in political science. So I love it. I'm also a member of Greek life here of Zeta Tau Alpha, so Yeah, so that's kind of my background there.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite of Mills. So my name is Taylor Wright. I'm a junior public health major. I'm from Goose Creek, South Carolina, kind of the low country, but I've been involved in student government since freshman year. I did freshman council my freshman year, and then sophomore year I kind of did a lot of service projects. So one was called Lead the Way. It was a great voter registration initiative. It actually spread statewide. And then UVSC flood relief, which was a big flood relief effort that the students put on. So those have been some amazing opportunities I've been a part of. Right now I'm a university ambassador, so I get to give tours and show off this amazing campus. I'm a presidential ambassador as well, so I work with the president, Dr. Bastides, and his wife and the board of trustees. And I serve on Ross's executive cabinet as secretary of campus outreach.
Can you guys tell me how you came up with the idea for your campaign name?
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, your really good friend Peyton Moore.
Right. Yeah. So my friend Peyton Moore, she former president of AKIO, and we began the campaign, and really there was an energy around our campaign. We just didn't want to make change happen. We want to get people excited about it, and we could it was a palpable energy around our campaign. So we wanted to kind of find a word or a phrase. We didn't know what we wanted to kind of really demonstrate the feeling that we had around our campaign and the feeling that other people had around it. So we did a lot of research, and the word surge kind of came up, and wasn't quite sure if I liked the word. I presented it to Mills. We were like,
we were not sure about it at first, but really once we kind of got our team working on some graphics.
And we saw the definition.
We saw the definition, the graphics, and we were like, wow, especially the electricity. I don't know if you guys seen some of our social media stuff. We have that the surge electricity, and we saw that kind of stuff, and we were just like, this is it. This is it. This is the kind of energy we want to bring to Carolina. This is exactly what we're going for.
And the definition is kind of a sudden, powerful force. It's like, we've worked so hard, and we want to come in student government and really make some change immediately. So it perfectly described exactly what we wanted to do. So
exactly.
Now we have the surge.
Yeah.
So as we saw at the debate, you guys have some pretty big plans for the upcoming year, but out of all your policies that you want to put in place, what do you think is going to affect the most students in the shortest amount of time?
For me, I think it's the online counseling appointments that we can schedule for mental health appointments. So that's one of the biggest thing that we've got feedback from. People would genuinely say, this is going to help so many people and so quickly. So I'm so excited about that. If you guys don't know, right now the only way you can make an appointment online, the only way you can make a mental health appointment is to call during business hours. And a lot of people, if you have a feeling after hours and you wake up the next morning, you kind of brush it off and keep going, but those feelings are still there. That pain is still there. So we want to make sure people can immediately make that appointment, and now you're held accountable. I really think it'll push more people to actually go to these counseling appointments. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we worked really hard with our team to come up with some ways to really integrate mental health into our platform, because we know that it's definitely a serious issue on campus. That one's a really great one. One thing that I'm really excited about, and I think that it honestly would have a very immediate impact, is this whole idea of approachability and accessibility. And the meaning behind that is we really want to bring student government to the students, because Taylor and I, we've gone to 1,000 organization meetings.
Feels like it,
yeah, it feels like it. And we go and we ask, hey, does anybody know what student government does? And only a few hands are raised. And we want to change that. I mean, that's crazy. The student body doesn't even know what the student government does. And, we're representatives of the student body. We're supposed to be representing them, and they don't even know. So Taylor and I, we really want, we're stressed that we want our cabinet, members of our cabinet, to go out into the community, go to student organization visits. We want them to be required to go to one student organization visit a week, listen to the leaders of the student organization. What is the student organization doing? What do they care about? What events, initiatives are they working on? And then also just come in at the end of the meeting and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm from student government. How can we help you? What kind of partnership do you see between your student organization and student government? We really want to be super transparent and approachable. We don't want to be these people that have these titles. We want to be students that other students feel comfortable coming to talk to. We want to be real representatives of the student body.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest issue for students on campus, and how do you plan to fix it?
So I think our students on campus face different issues. I think it's hard to kind of pinpoint one issue. We've been to so many different communities, and there's so many different issues, but I think the one kind of common thing that we've seen is transportation and parking around campus. So we go to organizations, we say, what do you think the one biggest issue is? Overwhelming. Yell, parking.
They yell it.
We did a lot of research on this. I've been in student government since freshman year. I've heard a lot of different solutions to parking. None of them are really feasible, and once people get in office, they don't really pursue them. So we want to look at what other colleges are doing, colleges that are similar to us, colleges in urban centers. And what we kind of came up with is smart parking. Basically, it uses cameras and maps out where spots are available, so you can go directly to that. It relays that to an app. Before you even leave your house, before you even leave your apartment, you'll know exactly where spots on campus are available. So really excited about that, and then Zip Car as well.
Yeah, and you guys have probably heard of, you know, the Zip mopeds, the Zap mopeds, excuse me. We really want to utilize bringing Zap cars on campus, and that way, you know, students can use the cars to go and grab groceries or go to the doctor, and that would have been really helpful for me because I'm a junior and I just got my car on campus this semester. So, I mean, I could have used that all the past 2 years.
Yeah, that's used at over 400 other colleges across the nation. So, common sense things that other people are doing that we just never really explored and never really pushed. That's kind of what we're all about.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's bring it back all the way to the beginning. What made you guys decide to run together?
Oh, yeah.
You want to start with your
Yeah,
your
so
first?
why I decided to run. So, you know, my mom went here, and I've always wanted to come here to this university. So, from the second I got here, I knew I wanted to make an impact. So, you know, freshman council, service projects, I kind of did amazing things. And I think last year I was kind of thinking about maybe, you know, running for executive position. I actually talked to Michael Parks about it, and he said, you know, unless you have that feeling where you literally cannot go to sleep without thinking about it, that it's not for you. And I didn't have that feeling. I think at the end of last semester is when I started to get that feeling. And I knew I had to do it. I knew I had the passion. I knew I had the ideas and the energy and the experience. So there's absolutely no reason that I couldn't do it. So that's kind of why I'm here.
Yeah, and honestly, like I had covered student government through the debates the past 2 years with SGTV. Really didn't have an interest in running for office until you know, a couple of people from student government approached me about, you know, running for vice president, and then I met Taylor. So when I met Taylor, it was just kind of like, okay, like, why have I not thought about this before? Because, you know, like, he comes from so many different backgrounds on campus, different areas, student organizations, and then I do as well. And I think together, him and I, when I met him, I was like, wow, like, we vibe really well, and also we have so many mutual friends. Yeah. It was crazy we hadn't even met each other. Yeah. But I got this feeling, I was like, okay, like, I feel like together we really have the actual reach on campus to reach all areas of campus. And so I just got that feeling. I felt like this is what's next for me. You know, I was ending my term of station manager at SGTV. I was like, I need something else. I need something else at this university that I can give back in a way. And when Taylor approached me, I was like, this is it.
Yeah, and here we are.
Well, guys, thank you both so much. And that's all we have for this week's edition of Midday Mashup.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at SGTV News4 for Midday Mashup. I'm Jordan Beener.
And I'm Spencer Buckler. Have a great weekend, Carolina. Forever to thee.